Hey guys, it's Gabe from Team Samurai X1, and we're here with Esala Wathuthantrige, the guy who can't win.
You got his name right.
Jesse Kotton, the guy who can win.
Fine.
Furman. They topped the 2v3, and here's the deck profile.
So our main decks are the same, sides a little different. We'll explain that later. This deck's more fun, so we played this deck, the Thunder Dragon deck. Inspired by Herman Hansen. We just wanted to play something fun. We resonated with that. That's the Thunder Engine. It's just 2 darks because I do feel like this breaks way more. If you draw like a lot of Thunders, it's not good. And 1 Hawk for the same reason. We've played this lineup for a long time in the other Thunder decks, and they're fine. Don't think you need to change it. Having 2 Roars means you can like recycle stuff, so
if you mill your Hawk, you can like try to add back.
Yeah, or if you just like need a follow-up. For the dangers, 1 Bigfoot, 2 Moth, 2 Snake, 2 Jackalope, 2 Nessie. So we played another card, I'm going to show later. That's a Dark Extender Slimmer to a danger. It doesn't draw you cards, but does more. So that way we didn't have to play more of the bad dangers like Bigfoots, Thunderbirds, Chupacabras, or like multiples of them, because they get like way worse in multiples. And they're like already very risky as is, so we just wanted to play the good ones. Moth is like good at 2, I think at 3 it's too much. And then Bigfoot's good for utility, being a blade. And then for the Dragon Engine, so we played 1 Phantasmate, searchable off like Heretic Seal and Brotar. And still going second. The Brotar, obviously, card is crazy. Destrudo, so we played this one because for Ravine, sometimes you need a Dragon Extender or for Curious. So it's there. It's Dark Dragon. Lets you play like sometimes. Like, it's not amazing, but it'll let you play, so that's good. We'll go on Diabolus. And then...
No.
And then, yeah, if you send Destrudo, you can save
sure.
for
like
Phantasmate. That never happened.
Yeah, that was pretty unreal.
3 Lavinier. Yeah, standard, and then the 1 Emperor Dragon. This card is insane with Seafurt just because you can Seafurt. Yeah, shout out to Dom. He gave me this Emperor. Beat him in the finals. Yeah, so like you can just add back your Seafurt and then let you full combo, or like you can just like it's just so good. Like looping Seafurt, this Lavinier. There's so many free monsters that you send to the field that does burn damage. Really good card. Like I think it's like. People say you don't need it, and like you don't really need it, but when you play without it, you don't want to ever cut it from your deck. Like when you play with it, you can't go back. It's too good.
That's a window sometimes.
Huh? Yeah, it did. I don't know when with it too. I want to like send Ravine, send it, add back with Seifert, hit Winda and Babel, then kill them.
Must be nice.
White black. Yeah. 3 Seiferts and the other normal summons, 3 Draconets. I then undervalued this card before. It's like really good when it resolves its game, and like if it doesn't get like stopped, it's like fine. This card is decent still, like it's not terrible, still a dragon, light, and all 3s is still common.
Duelistas con 2 personas más lanzamos el Winamac número 11. Solamente 2 personas más y lanzamos el Winamac número 11. Les recordamos que este evento no necesita decklist. Solamente con su registro pueden participar en el Winamac número 11. 2 personas más e iniciamos el evento.
This boy for the combos, one's pretty bad to draw. And the last monster, last Dark Extender is Vishuda. It's different names, different type, and then like it lets you crack fields better. So it's just better as like it does more than some of the bad dangers. Guaranteed summon, and like it has some other cool applications where like you can outwindow with it. So yeah, you can't go special and then make monk because it's 2 summons. But if you have these 2, you can just
They're like just dead.
summon this. And you banish from your hand, and it's normal, so you just bounce the Winda and then Draco Neck combo.
You were so scared of Winda.
Like
Winda's
we
really,
all lose, like most of the time. Like most decks, like most.
I mean, like
decks
it's not
lose.
just for Winda. It's just that was back row. Like you can't out anything. It's just better than
El día de
another.
hoy también tenemos un torneo 3 versus 3 en eventos públicos. Los premios de este torneo incluyen hojas sin cortar de cartas secretas y ultra raras. Les invitamos a participar en el torneo 3 versus 3 con sus equipos en eventos públicos.
Because they're like.
Yeah, very good. And then Ravine for Romulus. This for Ib. It's actually really good. Oh, something was like kind of cool. It's like I won games with these, just because you go like monk and then you make LP and you move it with this, and that came up and that was really cool. It was just like some mini combos. It gets you to Saryuja and then you can like actually play. And then I think this is just better than Allure and Malady. It's just so good. It's just game when it resolves. It always gets Ash, and if you get Ash, you can still play spells. You can play Ravine and the World Legacy first, and then Sekka afterwards.
It was so funny when we used both the spells and then resolve Sekka after. They just didn't understand what was happening.
So it never conflicted?
I mean,
A
sometimes
little
it did,
bit.
but like it just draws you usually it just draws you to an extender anyway. You have three draws to potentially draw like the extender that makes up for like the World Chalice spell. And Ravine's not really something you need to happen, but you still get to most of your board. Like worst case scenario.
Card destruction drops 5 cards.
It's not always true.
It's in regular. And then for extra deck, you got the Monk. For your Tenny, Phoenix, and Unicorn for utility, and Masquerade to go with that for the arrows.
Is that Super Phoenix?
Super's better.
I agree with that one.
Guard Dragons. Where's Agripane? Romulus, nice bridge.
I wish we still had our
I don't think so. I think it's fine without it.
You got Erratic Seal. Scar's still good, very good. If you do combo with Saryuja, you always make this up top and Appaloosa below it. Saryuja, very good. A lot of people aren't playing Nibiru, so you can just do this, and it's crazy. Or even if they Nibiru you just Saryuja afterwards, and like you just go off, like it's fine.
It's weird. If your hand's good and they Nibiru you usually end on a better board because of it.
Yeah. You got Appaloosa for end boards and stopping hand traps. Bull Sword to kill them. I actually don't think this card is like that necessary, but like, the one thing that I did find was that if you don't play this card and you play against the Orcus deck and the Masquerade into Bomber, you don't have a good out because you can't Legionnaire blow up the Bomber because of Masquerade's effect. And that just meant like very hard to out the Bomber, and this like lets you out the Bomber.
It helps you kill through Galatae.
That's a good card. I mean, like usually I don't like playing this card because you're playing so many big monsters you don't need it to kill. Like I'm sure like the times I killed with it, I probably could have found a different way to kill.
But that Agripane's like a lot harder. You want just something to go into with the Orcus. I mean,
Maybe. Dangers, Draconets, Vishuda, you make Curious, and Safer, Legionnaire, Roar, Shudo, yeah, it's cool. And then Fear for some rainbow colors. Yeah, one Colossus and no space for more. Best. This card is crazy mostly because it redirects attacks.
Next to Appaloosa.
Yeah, and Erratic Seal, and Masquerena, and then this card, obviously, it's just the ib combo.
the Thunder Engine's really small because it just negating searches isn't that important right now. It's mostly just Orcus for the meta. So like a lot of the time, if you had to choose between a Colossus and a Harbinger, you would overlay with the Colossus to make a Harbinger because it was like more important. So we only played the one.
So side deck is different for all of us. So Esala and Furman play the same side, and then I play different. We'll explain that after we show both.
I really want to see Furman's undefeated side deck.
So we got Dweller. So we played this just because you can still make it with black, white, safe monsters, and then so let's play around Dark Ruler because Dark Ruler destroys the field. You can just go make this game 2 and 3, and that was good. So just beat like the Orcus decks, even if they had Dark Ruler. 3 Lancias, 4 Orcus Mirror, 3 no materials, Luna, Orcus, Guard Dragon decks heading edge is broken. This card is very good. Pure Thunder is a little hard of a matchup, so this is pretty good for hit. And it's also good in the mirror.
You play any mirrors?
And Pendulum.
I do not. He did.
Played on, yeah, he played on this.
Yeah. Someone that went rip. Very rude. I think this is the best way to stop back row than Twin. I think it's better. Both are good though. And then
His undefeated side deck?
side deck that Furman and Esala played. That's alright.
2 Phantasmes. Really just like help us draw into.
Yeah, so my side deck is built to crack boards. Or to prevent boards. His is built to crack boards.
Yeah, Mystic Mine, like Thunder Dragon as well. Orcus, like sometimes Orcus won't have an out because you're just like playing a combo deck, so they won't have back row removal.
Yeah, their out's gonna be Orcus return.
Mind Troll helps out Winda, it helps out like a lot of things. It like baits out Crescendo. Like with these two, you can like bait out Crescendo, then Mystic Mine them. 3 Red Reboot, same reason. Dweller, same reason. 3 Dark Ruler.
Yeah.
So
The difference in our side decks is this. You could throw them off because if they see, I guess, and the Phantasmes.
yeah.
It was twins instead of
these are all the
twins for
same
you,
thing,
like, yeah.
right?
So those are the things that were different. Main thing is because if they see like these two playing Mystic Mine, they're gonna side back row and move over to me, and then I am not playing any mine, so like it makes their deck worse. And you can do some like mind games and stuff where like they may not think these are coming in because like I played hand traps. And they're gonna think, how do I fit all that in? So the different side decks means it's harder to predict.
Even top 16, like Arnold told like Hani play around gnome material.
Yeah, because he saw me mill gnome, I'm pretty sure, off Curious. Like, and then like just not in his deck. So Hani's field was just worse, which is huge because like it's like one of the few edges you can get in a 3v3 that's different from main Yu-Gi-Oh. This is more neutral of a side deck, I think, in a real tournament. This is a lot more fishy. Like in Top Cut, that can be worse because like when they know you're playing it, they're just gonna make you go first, and they're not as good as like Lancia.
Or better, like depending on like you.
If you're a known player, it's hard because like you're gonna get, like, they're gonna know what you're. People are gonna scope out what you're playing. But if you're up and comer and people aren't really scoping out your deck list, then it could be catch a lot of people by surprise. Still very good. It's not limited. People forget about mine. The card's crazy. Anyways, that's it for the deck profile.
Shout out Game Nation.
Yep, Team Game Nation. Check them out.
YGOmarket.com.
Shout out Nerdy Jersey.
Nerdy Jersey. I don't know why it's not on this channel, but of course, Team Samurai X1. Subscribe.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And
Duelist Academy.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Duelist Academy,
Subscribe to
the newest
Duelist
Patreon.
Academy.
Yeah, so Bowden is starting a Patreon where players can get coached pretty much. They can send in replays and we can critique them, or you can have one-on-one sessions where we can help you get better at the game through many different ways, deck building theories, just in-game decision making, many other things. So it's still under development, and right now I think the people on board are me, Dom Couch, Bowden, Furman, Esala, Max Reynolds, Ryan Levine, Raphael Nevin are all on board to be like some of the coaches you can choose to help. So I'm not sure when it's going to get rolled out, but when it does, be sure to check it out.
Well, thank you for the deck profile. Make sure to like and subscribe, and peace.